karate belt, like debate.
I have to change the title.
Alright, it's just another pin in the suit.
Yeah. You know, like whenever you win like a fight in like boxing or something, like they tally it onto your score, Donald. That's like what Gavin was to me.
Oh, me and Gavin had our own little tussle. It's on my YouTube channel.
You know, Gavin, he's just like terrified, and that's why he's on mute right now, right? He's like terrified of talking to me, terrified of debating me. This way, I made him go like in the cuck side chat. I'm making him in the cuck chair, like Destiny right now, like Sneeko, right? He's like watching me rail his ex-wife, while she's giving me the 250K gift. Like he's just not doing anything about it because like he's bitch made.
All right.
Gavin, I have a question. I have a genuine question. So, is the reason why like you're so dumb because you were dropped on the head as a baby, or because of the kickboxing that gave you brain damage? Which one is it, Gavin? Or is it like kind of a conjunct where it's like both? So P or Q or P and Q? Which one is it?
It's a false dichotomy, Gavin. Tell him it's a false dichotomy.
Probably going to be the inclusive conjunct, right? Of both propositions being true.
Yeah, actually probably it's going to be that. Or maybe he just might be in his like ontology to like be super dumb, and that's why like it's impossible for him to like give a coherent statement. Instead, he sounds like a drunkard.
Maybe it's just going to be in his nature, his essential nature as like a irrational agent, that he would pick up the metaphysical position that he should follow those institutional norms of a fucking retard or something.
Hey,
yeah,
I word on my stage, please.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Gavin. So can I just give you an argument for sophisticated expressivism? If I can give you an argument, you can give a rebuttal. I'll pay you like $5,000 United States dollar. Are you ready? Are you ready, Gavin? Are you ready for my argument? Yeah, so on premise one, if some theory T best accounts for our discourse practices in some given domain D and compared to other hypotheses, then T is more probable. Sophisticated expressivism best accounts for our discourse practices in the moral domain. Therefore, sophisticated expressivism is like the most probable, right? Gavin, do you have like some type of rebuttal here? Or just like can I keep typing? Let's see. God best described by his nature. Christianity teaches God is one. Yeah. Oh, we know like the properties of God, Gavin. Just give the argument for like God existing. Like you didn't have to. I know the properties of God, right? I know everything about like what your God has to entail, right? I know about classical theism probably better than you do, because like I actually take the time to read the literature, to read like the saints about it, to like read the people that actually like write about this. Unlike you, Gavin. Communicable attributes, qualities. This is.
Yes, I am here.
Yeah, Donald. If you're recording this, I'm sorry that we can't get you like good content because Gavin is like he's so scared. He's like hiding, right? He's like hiding from me. I'm like the big bad wolf. He's like one of the three little piggies.
I'd be fine with the debate with Gavin, but the whole brain damage thing gives me pause because I mean I don't want to like pick on a brain damage guy.
Oh shit! Listen, Mary.
Hey, Merritt, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear
Gavin,
me?
Gavin, why are you dodging?
Yeah, we hear you, buddy.
Be quiet, fool.
Yo, you're running, Gavin. Why are you running from me?
Merritt, did you moderate the debate between me and this clown John Crawford?
I'm a lot better than you at this debate shit.
Yes, sir. I think it took place on Clubhouse. The recording's still up. I remember now.
Right,
John. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
So the question I've got for you is, from your point of view as the moderator, and you are a fair moderator, did John Crawford actually bring an argument to the debate, or did he spend most of the debate talking about semantics?
What?
He did mention the high priors. That if something has a high prior, then there's, from what we've seen, there's there seems to be.
That's not my argument. I was using the Bayesian reasoning.
Can you let him finish?
To make because like, he just like because he didn't represent. No, he didn't represent my argument properly, right? So I'm clarifying the argument. right? I was using a type of I was using like inductive
Asshole.
reasoning to make a
Let
probabilistic case
finish,
against theism,
asshole, and
right?
then you can speak.
Just to
You're
be
not a
crystal clear.
moderator in this room.
Well, hang on.
Hey,
So
calm
let her
down there.
finish.
Calm down there, Gavin. You're spurging. Anyways, man, yeah, finish your point.
Yeah.
Now that you have like the
Well,
full
it was
context.
it was a good while ago, and I don't remember the specifics, but just when I joined the room, you mentioned the high priors. That immediately reminded me. In fact, as soon as I heard you say that, I thought to myself, wait a minute, is this the same guy that debated Gavin? And it reminded me of that. But that was many months ago. The recording's still up, and it was it was an enjoyable debate. But your argument seemed to have the one of a philosophical foundation, which actually was new to me because oftentimes when atheists come to the table, they try to argue from a scientific standpoint. But you brought a philosophical argument. From what I can remember, now I don't know if there were prior agreements between you and Gavin on what the discussion parameters should be. Maybe that was maybe Gavin wasn't expecting you to in a philosophical argument. In other words, not one where you argue on the basis of incredulity. So, for example, so like if you say if something has a high prior, then probably it doesn't exist. But ultimately, it's possible that it exists. We do, we have.
Well, no. Okay, so just to be clear, so my argument has to do with like how it contradicts with his hypothesis, right? So we have some hypothesis like A and some hypothesis T, right? Hypothesis A, like there would be a bunch of things expected under this hypothesis, but if you have high priors against just like things happening under the hypothesis where it's expected to happen versus some other hypothesis where like it is where it's like not expected to happen, right? Obviously, like we'd be like unjustified in believing like some like the first hypothesis A, because of like the inductive priors we have of it, right? And like let's say we have the other hypothesis B. Now this hypothesis, it doesn't posit the same thing, but it has more evidence. We have more expectations off of it, which would be like some type of naturalistic explanation, right? Which would have the same amount of explanatory power as some like theistic explanation, while as well like answering questions like problem of evil and divine hiddenness and religious confusion. It's like overall more parsimony. So it's gonna be like more successful within like some type of ontological economy domain, right? And that's like the crux of the argument, right? That like we make a probabilistic case for like theism like not being true, making it unjustified to believe it, right? And then the problem of evil, which Gavin just like hasn't refuted yet. I don't know how. Obviously that's gonna lead to his rotary being incoherent, as there will be a contradiction entailed within it, unless like he defines God to be like some type of unless he defines God to be goodness, and which like in that case he had to provide an argument for that how that would hold like any type of normative weight. Like at all, I don't see how that would hold any normative weight ever in any type of domain.
I understand.
Right? That's why I brought up like.
Did you bring up the problem of evil?
Yeah.
In a debate, yeah, you did.
So, right? If I remember correctly, how I run the argument is like, if the Christian God exists, there are no pro-total evils. There are pro-total evils, therefore the Christian God doesn't exist. I think that was the argument I ran. And notice how I was like giving like formally valid arguments, but Gavin was just uttering like something along like it's a PQR T therefore S, which like obviously like wouldn't be valid within any like logical domain ever, unless you make up some like new type of logic which like has those weird inferences, which no one would take seriously at all.
The interesting thing about the priors argument is that and Gavin, tell me what you think about it either as well, because if one says that Christianity has high priors for certain things to conform to a believer's expectations, could the same be said about atheism? How many people in the world live their lives with the expectation of naturalistic mechanisms guiding everything around them. And so with that as the norm, their prior would be naturalism. Well, do you think that would apply?
Not necessarily, right? Because atheism just like posits a claim that that God doesn't exist, right? They just say God doesn't exist, right? So under like some atheistic hypotheses, we can have multiple explanations. One of them could be some type of naturalistic explanation.
Are you asking me the question, Crimsonite? Are you asking me the
I
question?
mean, Gavin, you could have finish a sentence.
Given the
Okay, so I'll answer your question, Crimsonite. That is probably one of the stark differences between an atheist and a Christian. And the Christian sides himself or aligns himself with the scientific consensus that naturalism is insufficient to explain all aspects of reality.
You gotta demonstrate that.
Now, the atheist can't explain what else gives rise to reality other than naturalism.
Right, so I'm just going to take it to be the
Wait.
case that I have prima facie justification. I came back from taking the shit, right? So what's the dialectic at time?
Yeah, so Gavin just uttered we were going over the debate. So Gavin Mir asked a question like wouldn't atheists only be able to explain how things arise via naturalism? In which I was gonna give like a response to that. Number one, I don't know if you're talking about like a methodological naturalism or like ontological naturalism. So if you could clarify that maybe. But also obviously like no atheists aren't only gonna posit like one type of metaphysics, right? Like some atheists they can be like complete idealists or some type of like dualists, right? In which like obviously like they wouldn't believe like material things are like the only things in the world as like expected under some type of naturalist, right? Or even so they could have like different theories of they could also have like different theories of how like the universe came to be, right? There's like so many different explanations that the atheists could posit, so many different types of like metaphysics that it doesn't make sense to just say the atheist only has naturalism, because like so many like atheist philosophers or like idealists or like nutrimonists or like dualists, right? And these obviously aren't going to be like posited within some type of naturalistic account, because like I don't think we found like any scientific evidence. Is that a bat?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, even an atheist could if we wanted to go there, we could posit like non-natural entities, right?
Yeah.
Like you could be an atheist and believe in ghosts and like all sorts of stuff, right? Atheism only commits you to the position that there is no such thing as a god, right? Quagram opi, right? And so you can be like a pragmatic, methodological naturalist, right? In which case you think, perhaps you want to subscribe to some neutral monism or something. We could talk about like cosmological arguments and stuff, and like we can even grant that there's a first mover, right? And then that's just not going to be God, right? Even the people who are theists who argue for a first mover, right? Their argument only like entails that there had to be a beginning of the universe, right? Now that you would have to then give a further argument that the creator of the universe or the start of the universe was caused by, some sort of being that has a perspective on the world, who's like all powerful and personal and all of these other predicates and properties of God, which you can't substantiate, right? And then we just do a theory comparison and we say, what's more likely? Right, that there was like a beginning of the universe, right, and that's like a brute contingent fact, or there was like a necessary being, or like whatever the case may be, right? And then the theist is in the position where they have to account for that, right, and they also have to account for this other entity which offers no explanatory power, right? It's just going to be the brute contingent fact is just going to be like a can kicked down the road like of the problem, which is just that there's like this brute contingent fact of like the beginning of the universe, right? So even on theory comparison, give whatever argument you want, right? Whether that's a primary mover, an unmoved mover, or like a necessary instantiation of the universe or whatever, right? And then you have to explain both that, which are in the exact same position with God, right? It's like, look, I could posit God. Oh, God explains this, right? And that's just going to be like less parsimonious, right? And then
Yeah.
the question is like, why would a being that has a perspective on the world exist, right? There's no explanation for them. So the brute contingency, like for both the atheist who talks about a necessary being or like a start to the universe, is just in the same position of the theist. However, the theist is actually in a slightly worse position, right? Because they're positing even more entities, right? And it's just not going to be the case under like naturalistic ontologies that we can arrive epistemically to the transcendental deduction of like a being that has a perspective on the world, right? Or like go through methodological empirical means to understand them, right? So actually, like, pragmatism precludes the possibility of God, right? Then you just have to give arguments against pragmatism, which is like the disclosure of the universe to ourselves through methodological means, right? And what's going to be the argument there, right? Because the non-natural
Yeah.
facts are going to be underdetermined, right, by our analyses and our investigations. And if we're doing analyses and investigations which are fruitful to the understanding of the world, you're doing methodological naturalism, right? Which already, as I stated, precludes the possibility of God.
Yeah. And also,
So
can I on top
you're
of
just
this?
getting your cheeks clapped from every single angle. You're getting spit roasted.
Oh wait,
diamonds
and
across.
wait, Gavin, to even add on this some more, right? Wait, Gavin, the more
What I
ontological
can't
commitments you
no
have,
name
like the less
entity.
intuitive and the more absurd your
What a bunch of
hypothesis becomes, right?
nobodies.
And obviously, we have two hypotheses. Hypothesis one posits some
You
eternal
wish to know,
universe, right?
you
And
wish
this
to
is going to
know.
have as much
I was
explanatory power,
demonstrated by
as much, and
nature.
like even more evidence than like some
Okay.
hypothesis, like an all-knowing,
No, they're not.
all-powerful, infinite
Let's go
creator,
through
all-loving as well, created the
the
universe.
obvious.
Obviously, one of these is going to follow ontological economy
Limits.
better, right?
Nature
Do you
limits
understand that?
explaining natural origins.
Did you
Scholars
understand?
argue that naturalism struggles to explain
Talk the whole way through.
fundamental
We didn't hear a
questions like
word you
the
said.
origin of
You're just
life,
talking the whole time.
the origin of life,
Yeah, this is
and
fine, right?
the
So, Gavin, I
objective
can respond. Wait,
of
can
the
you mute him real
universe
quick?
itself. For instance,
Yeah, okay, give me a second.
chemical evolution
Yeah.
failed
So,
to provide a coherent pathway
okay, you
for
know, I'm just gonna
non-living
turn on my
matter.
microphone, Gavin. I can
Turn it down.
overtalk you, by the
Turn it
way,
down.
just so you know, right? So,
Gavin.
okay, perfect. Yeah. So the thing that solves number one is gonna be some type of abiogenesis, abiogenesis thing, right? Abiogenesis hypothesis, which would have explanatory power, like more explanatory power, in my personal opinion, than some type of like theistic God, right? And
Oh, you cut out. You cut out. Okay, Gavin.
You cut out, Mr. John Crawford.
Yeah, you cut out. All right, Gavin, you're unmuted. I never keep people muted. I just need to mute them for a little bit because they lack self-control. Christians. So, does anybody here believe in God? I mean, Gavin, we know you believe in God.
yeah, hello, my bad, my power just went out.
Yeah, you're back now. We can hear you.
Yeah, you lost
Yeah,
the debate, dude.
so, my response to the second thing, we can take a bunch of different types of like materialism. So we can take some type of like new materialism, some type of like type A, type B, or like type C materialism. But I personally really like type Q materialism. And like I especially like encourage anyone here to like look into type Q materialism. I think that'll just like blow Gavin the fuck out of the water. You probably like won't even know a response to it, right? I'm not necessarily a materialist, but there's so many explanations under like some type of naturalism or like materialism like we could posit that would explain like consciousness and things like that. Ambiguities and like definitions. Can you just like tell under like any definition that is well defined under some type of
You're robot.
appreciate it. And like the conclusion didn't get an argument in like form like no inference rule. Right? Your argument doesn't like utter any type of inference, so we have no reason to accept your argument to be as sound.
You broke up a little.
No, I didn't advocate for the supernatural. Yo, huh?
I think we caught most of what you said, but you broke up there for a minute. That's okay. I like the way you argue.
Yeah, I didn't pause anything supernatural. But yeah, so I just like I'm completely fucking like annihilated every single one of Gavin's points in like 2 seconds. And like Mars bars, if you want to add anything on top of it, I mean this is like
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
easy. Like
I'll
pretty
add some
trivial to do.
stuff on top of that, like cream dressing, right? So the third thing you say there's going to be a difference between methodological naturalism and some sort of metaphysical naturalism. That there is supposedly some semantic problem, like open semantic problem, right? Which, like, okay, whatever. Maybe we don't understand the objects at the end of history, right? And so there's going to be some sort of Hegelian negation of the negation, where the negation sublates itself into the offbahn of absolute knowing, of which how can we know what absolute knowing is from the offset, and the project of coming to the determinate means of absolute knowing or something, right? Which is like, okay, whatever, maybe that's like a slight problem, right? But just because there's, some sort of difficulty in understanding the exact scope of, methodological and metaphysical naturalism in relation to each other, doesn't then entail that like God exists, right? That would be like saying, this football game plan is like pretty good, but you could still lose the game, and therefore 2 and 2 is 5, right? If I said something like that, that would just be stupid, right? It's just completely unrelated, right? So the fact that this, may not from the offset absolutely explain every phenomena doesn't give you the ability to throw it out the window and then just do whatever the fuck you want to, right?
No,
Because there are
but if we
institutional
don't
norms of
know,
science
if
which
we
we
don't
hold
know,
to,
therefore
right?
God. If we don't know, therefore
Also,
God.
he's like pretending like atheists only have naturalism. We have so many different metaphysical positions that we could like offer up to the table that again don't posit a god, but it's like what still like allow us to have some type of material things and like what still allow us to like have explanations similar to your hypotheses, except it'd be more parsimonious, right? We'd be holding to like less ontological commitments than you, right? And Gavin just like doesn't understand atheism, right? He doesn't understand like the metaphysical positions atheists can take.
Hello?
Hello. How are you?
Why isn't he talking?
Well, he's a coward, of course. He's been unmuted since the first time you broke up. He hasn't said a word. He's just sitting there like a good little
Right, so
boy.
this is just going to be evidence of the brain damage.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
like
I
him
don't think
being
you guys have
quiet.
to be rude to him, though. I don't
Well, no,
think.
he really is brain damaged. Like, there's like not even
No,
a joke.
this
He
is
really
like
is brain
literally
damaged.
true, right? Like this
Yeah,
isn't like a rhetorical gimmick. Like this is like literally just a fact.
yeah, like all the kickboxing, like to the head. Like he should have quit way earlier, but like this is why
Is
he's
that
still
him in his
committed.
profile picture?
I don't know. I'm not. That's not him. I can like show you. Oh no, actually, I don't know if I can. But
Yeah, it is.
if you look up like his full name on Google, look up his full name. There'll be his it's like in his profile. There'll be like a article about him, and like it shows his face on there. And the article also talks about how he lost $250,000 from his wife. If anyone's interested.
Not at all interested, but hey.
Right, so if you actually look at the
Foolish.
realm of true propositions, right, which is like a immense library, right, and like there are like little people who pick up the true propositions when we utter true propositions, right, like the little people there, when we say Gavin is brain damaged, there's like a little elf person who picks up the true proposition and reads it out, right, when we say that he lost $250,000 to a court battle with his wife in a messy divorce, that's also going to be like one of the true propositions that's pulled out.
What is this picture?
Right, and it's just going to be like true proposition after true proposition in a way that like this isn't even like rhetorical or ad hom. This is like literally, this is like synonymous with saying like the sky is blue, 2 and 2 is 4, blood is red, and Gavin Herleman lost $250,000 in a terrible court case with his wife, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Gavin,
Oh
make
my
sure next
God,
time if you like ever want to debate me again, make sure you come up and like conceive of some type of formally valid argument to like even come to like my skill level, right? Like you've been doing this so much longer than me, and for like an 18-year-old kid to just like go up there and just like smack you, give you like a big old spanking, and then like smooch you on the cheek after, like that's like so pathetic and like so embarrassing for you, right? Like getting like blown the fuck out by some 18-year-old on the internet.
He brought holographic principle when he debated me.
Debate bros win once again.
Yup, Checkmate, DS atheist. Wait, Mars. Yeah, but
I had an argument that I brought to the table. John,
wait,
and you
wait,
didn't have an
I'll
argument.
put the argument. Yeah, I'll put
That
the
is-
argument in
that
side
is
chat.
some factor of the entire debate. That's why I didn't go very long. I think I went for an hour.
Yeah, I went
So
for
you
an
had
hour.
nothing.
No,
Yeah,
I
nothing.
did have something. I gave you 2 arguments, and then actually like spend some. Wait, Gavin, hold it, Gavin, hold it. Gavin, hold it, Gavin, simmer down there. Gavin,
We asked the
Gavin,
moderator.
Gavin, calm the fuck
We
down
asked
there.
the moderator.
Go ahead, you can ask him. I did provide 2
Oh, we
arguments.
asked
Why is
him.
there a pattern in that?
All right, Merritt, you've been asked for your synopsis of this debate I had with John Crawford.
Okay. I get it now.
Yeah, my impression of the debate was one where Gavin's argument was one that I had heard before, and personally, it is a compelling argument. At the same time, in John's opening statement, it was a new argument that I hadn't heard before, and it was an interesting one that I didn't have the time to think on while I was moderating the debate. So I was kind of counting on Gavin to speak to those to the points he raised, and I would say the climax of the debate was where Gavin brought evidence of the supernatural and how the things that some of the things we see in the universe can't be accounted for by strict naturalism, and Gavin was demanding for John to give an account for these phenomena under naturalism, and so at that moment was things got a little blurry, and when I asked John just a little while ago, how did you respond? He said that while he does not advocate for supernaturalism, there are some atheists that do. So,
Miri, I'm not a naturalist.
right. Oh, okay. So you're okay,
So
you're not a
I'm
naturalist.
I'm most I'm like a neutral monist or like a type Q or like new materialist, right? Like I don't follow like naturalism. I follow materialism or like neutral monism. Those aren't my. So he was arguing
Naturalism
like
rejects any form of supernaturalism or metaphysicalism. And
Wait.
so, John,
metaphysicalism. Wait, what do you think?
you're
Wait,
far
Gavin, what do you
behind
think metaphysics are,
by
Gavin?
the current scientific thinking. You're so far behind.
Gavin, metaphysics is the field of study. You know that, right? You know metaphysics is a field of study, Gavin? Metaphysics is a study of the nature of reality. You know that, right, Gavin? That's why things like materialism and like naturalism, that's why they're metaphysical positions. You get that, right, Gavin?
Atheists
Yes or no? Do you
or
understand that?
naturalists do not believe in the supernatural. This is
Not necessarily, right, Gavin? Get like if I like show you like an atheist philosopher and like a paper that
you can understand English, folks.
Yes, I know. Wait, just to be clear, what's the contradiction entailed with like some atheists, like positing there's like some supernatural like entities to like ghosts, right? What would be the contradiction entailed within like hypotheses that God doesn't exist? You're presupposing some type of metaphysical claim, within atheism, which again you'd have to give the argument for how atheism necessarily entails, naturalism. Do you have an argument for that, Gavin?
Nobody does.
I don't need an argument.
Oh, so it's a presupposition. Wow, Mars, did we hear that?
Listen, ADH child. Listen. If we weren't created by God, right? This is an argument condemning your position. If we weren't created by God, our reasoning faculties would be unreliable.
What's the argument for that, Gavin? Gavin, what's the argument for that?
Would that be fair?
Gavin, no, what's the argument for that?
Premise two.
What's the argument for that, Gavin? Go ahead.
Are reliable. They are
Mars-
reliable.
Premise
You're
one?
just repeating yourself.
Yeah, I think they are.
Multiple. Do we hear premise one or do we hear question begging?
We're created by God.
You think
Yo, guys, have you heard an argument yet? This guy's question begging.
Must be false. Simple as that.
You just keep uttering Q, 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 Q. Oh, what am I gonna do against you yelling Q when we can't even justify that? Oh, fuck. Oh, it's almost like there's no contradiction until Gavin. It's almost like you're fucking dumb.
Notice when atheists are losing or failing, they just resort to
It's
insults.
almost like you're fucking dumb. Oh, no. Gavin, I already responded, though. You just don't know. Gavin, I already responded.
Okay, let him respond, man.
For all theists, all you have to do is say, demonstrate that. Oops.
Gavin, just give the argument. We're waiting. Go ahead. Just give the argument.
I did just now.
Yeah, oh wait, what's the inference rule? Gavin, what's the inference rule? Gavin, just give the inference rule.
No.
Gavin, how's the argument formally valid, Gavin?
I just
These
These modus ponens, modus tollens, disjunctive syllogism, simplification, addition. What did he use, Gavin?
John, try and get your ADHD around this.
Gavin, your argument
that
isn't
is
fucking
true,
sound. Gavin, your argument isn't even
Then,
valid.
there would be positive evidence that no gods exist.
There would be,
Yeah.
you know, the positive evidence
If
is the
atheism
right
is
witness,
true,
Gavin. The positive evidence
Hey,
is the problem of evil,
ADHD
Gavin.
boy, ADHD boy, can you listen?
HD boy.
Atheism is true,
He
then
cooked
there
you, bro.
would be
John, he cooked
positive
you.
evidence.
I already
that
told
no
you the
gods
positive evidence
exist.
as we spoke. I already gave it to you, Gavin.
My evidence for disproving Gavin.
I already gave it to you, Gavin. Did you hear me? Can you repeat back the evidence?
Scripture to
Well, we'll
prove
move on
Gavin's
to
God.
page 2 as soon as you come
Gavin, just repeat it back, Gavin, please. Please, Gavin, just repeat it back.
through.
Repeat back the evidence I gave you, Gavin. I know you suck at this. I know your microphone sucks. Please just try to use your two neurons to flare the fuck up, Gavin, please.
Positive.
Yeah, Gavin, just give the fucking
Positive
argument.
evidence,
you
right?
idiot.
Hiddenness and problem of evil, dummy. Oh, wait, Gavin, do you just want an argument? Yeah, Gavin, let me give you. Yeah, Gavin, I can give you an argument, Gavin. Let me give you, please, Gavin, just let me give an argument, Gavin, please. Gavin, just let me give you the evidence, please, Gavin. Just let me give you the evidence.
And I'll take scripture for 500, Gavin.
Gavin, I'll just give you the evidence, okay? Are you ready? Okay, perfect. So, Gavin, can we mute Gavin real quick? He's like over talking. It's really hurting my feelings.
I think he's literally
Okay, so
asking.
Gavin, premise one.
What is the evidence that no God exists?
Is about as intrinsically probable as theism, right? And obviously, ascetic deism is about as probable as theism prior to looking at any evidence, and this intrinsic probability solely depends on the content and features of the hypotheses themselves, right, Gavin? Premise two: the total evidence excluding the facts about suffering and religious confusion is roughly equally expected under theism and ascetic deism, respectively, of course. Premise three: given the total evidence excluding facts about suffering and religious confusion, the facts about suffering and religious confusion are much more expected under an ascetic deism account than on theism, right? So conclusion one's going to be ascetic deism is more probable than theism. The second conclusion is going to be theism is probably false. Right, and then because obviously atheism is more parsimonious than ascetic deism, obviously atheism is going to be more probable, making atheism more probable overall, right? It's obviously going to follow the principles of ontological economy. Gavin, do you have a rebuttal? Do you have a rebuttal to the argument?
Yeah. Do you have positive proof that no God?
That was it, Gavin. That was it.
Yeah. Do you have positive
I
proof?
gave it to you. I just uttered it to you, Gavin.
How is that relevant,
I
Gavin?
just
How
uttered
is-
it to you, Gavin. I just uttered you the evidence.
Thank you for conceding.
Well, I just gave it to you.
Thank you for conceding that you
Yo,
can't
intensive.
prove
Did
that
I do
no
not
gods
get, or
exist.
did I, or did I not give him
reject
evidence
your
by giving a
reality and
formally valid
substitute
argument?
my own.
Guys, do you guys hear me give evidence in the form of a syllogism? Intensive, you there?
Yes.
Yeah, you heard. Wait, what about you, Maria? Did you hear me give evidence in the form of a syllogism?
Yeah, I heard you. It sounded
Yeah, so-
familiar. I think.
So
Yeah.
Gavin, it's
Well-
almost like I did give evidence, right?
Well, if I
So-
can, if I can help clarify, because I've heard Gavin speak to this many times. What he means when he says that, and I think he said it earlier, might have missed it, which was that unless the mind was guided by an intelligent designer, there's practically an infinite number of ways in which the arrangement of particles that make up the physical brain can yield an incorrect result as opposed to the correct.
Yeah. Okay.
answer.
So this is like, okay. So number one, this isn't like what he wanted at all. What he merely wanted was positive evidence against theism. He wanted positive evidence for atheism against theism, right? That's what he wanted.
I
So
wanted
that'd be like trivia.
evidence
Wait, Gavin, Gavin, you're talking me now. I'm so much louder than you. I don't know why you're trying this, Gavin. I'm like 10 times louder than you.
You don't have
And the response
positive
to
evidence
yeah, obviously
that there are no gods.
there's like practically
Therefore,
infinite, but the
atheism
universe
is
like,
false.
is infinite, right? It's eternal,
Oh.
like it's expanding infinitely. So like it wouldn't be unexpected that after like however long in infinity, there would be some type of life there, right? That'd be expected actually. We can use something like the infinite monkey theorem, for example, in which like this would be expected under. Wouldn't that be the case, Gavin?
You
This
still
is
have no proof. So thank you for conceding.
Wait, what did I concede? I already gave you the evidence, Gavin. What, do you want evidence of the big bounce? Do you want evidence that the universe is eternal? Do you want evidence that I can give you the evidence on the big bounce? Do you want the Deci survey? Gavin, I do. Do you want the Deci survey? Gavin, do you want the Deci survey?
There are no gods. You don't have
If you want,
evidence
just
that
tell me
there are
about
no
the
gods.
Deci survey. I can
So
get
you
it to you right
concede.
now.
You concede.
I already given you
Thank
the
you for
evidence.
conceding.
Yeah, just give premise one. Just give justification for premise one.
Let me ask you, as a level-headed guy, is there positive evidence that no gods exist?
Yeah, I already gave it to you.
Opinion?
I already gave it to you.
I'm not talking to you. I'm asking Crimsonite. Crimsonite, is there positive evidence that no gods exist?
I already gave it to him.
This debate
I-
feels so euphoric, dude.
Not under my familiarity with the term positive evidence. However, if the term is operating under a different definition, then it offer something. And this is the reason why is that, and I think John, you might have brought this up. I do recall you mentioning the problem of evil, and I think Gavin mentioned in response to that without a God with omni properties, you wouldn't have a.
Wait, yeah. I can just give an argument for moral realism if you want. I can just give an argument for moral realism, right?
You can't even give an argument.
Okay, so Gavin, do you want the argument for moral realism? Gavin, yes or no? Do you want the argument for moral realism?
I don't care if he does or not. I do. Let's go.
Just concede.
Okay, yeah. So Gavin, that was a yes or no question, by the way. Do you want the argument for moral realism? Okay, so I'll just give the argument for moral realism if anyone's interested. So, premise one. If experiences of suffering and pleasure are necessarily valued equally to all with epistemic access to their features, then moral judgments associated with these experiences are sense dependent. And premise two is obviously going to be that the antecedent for premise one is true.
John,
It's going to be basically P then Q.
Script reading.
What am I reading off of? What? Moral judgment. Moral judgments associated with these experiences are stance independent. So this is going to be part one of the argument. I'm going to actually be giving a hypothetical syllogism, if any of you know what that means. And premise three is going to be that there are stance independent moral judgments. If there are stance independent moral judgments, then obviously moral realism is going to be true. It's going to be an analytic truth. Right, so therefore, moral realism is going to be true. So yes, we can have like a moral facts without some type of God, right? And I've already demonstrated that. If you want some type of justification, we can go down the propositional Rolodex, right? I have arguments for my arguments, and I have arguments for those arguments, and so on and so forth, right? Gavin, if you want to go down the propositional Rolodex, obviously we can if you want to.
Look, you can talk as much as you like.
You're
You
dodging.
still
Holy
cannot
fucking shit!
prove that no gods exist.
I already
So
did. I already
therefore,
demonstrated that.
You concede your position.
I did. Wait, guys, did I
Your
not give
position
an
is
argument for the
Your
inductive case?
position is
That God
untenable.
doesn't
And
exist
you're
for anyone
too
here in the room
young.
before me.
You're too young and stupid to be making arguments.
Gavin, but I'm smarter than you. I'll tell you that much. Okay.
It's if
No,
you
no,
make
seriously.
if you
Seriously, you're
make
too
like
young
a
and stupid.
Gavin,
to be-
seriously, like I'm
If
an
you-
18-year-old, like blowing you the fuck out right now, right? That's
You
like
you
pathetic.
try-
You
You're a
sound
pathetic
like an
old man.
18-year-old going on 14.
if you
Wow,
try
that's so fun.
if
That
you
was so
try to
rhetorical,
make-
Gavin. You sound like a fucking 50-year-old
If you-
going on fuck the way you throw
My
temper
goodness.
tantrums, right, Gavin?
Have you
If
got
you-
any pubic hair?
If
I
you
do
try
not
to
know.
make if you
I already
try to
gave you
make
positive
like a,
evidence against theism. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you
I
schizophrenic
doubt
now?
if you have. I doubt if
Well-
you have any pubic hair.
if you try to make
anyway.
like
That's
a kind
Yeah,
of
run
like,
away, Callie. Run away, you
Why?
fucking pussy. You're such a slimy little weasel, you
No,
know that?
if
You're
you
like such a
look,
pathetic
you
old
lost.
piece of shit, bro. You're like
You
an old
lost.
fart, you know that?
And you've
Like, I
lost
can't
this
wait for, like, genuinely, like,
rigmarole.
I bet
If
fucking
you can
caretakers
put the
can't wait for the
seed in,
fucking crow.
if you
Like, you're
can't
like,
prove
honestly,
that
like, such like a
nobody
pathetic piece of shit, Gavin. You
it's
know
gotta
that?
come down
Like,
to
I'm not even angry right now, Gavin, right? I just want you to know how much of a pathetic little fucking slimy weasel you are, right? Like the way you try to weasel yourself out of every
Hey,
every single type of argument I've like tried giving you. Every single time you try getting on this fucking linear path and you can't even like give a sound or like valid argument, right? And like it's how bad faith you are, right? And like everyone here can see like right through it, right?
Don't
And
have
you don't
an
have to like
argument.
appeal to like other
Tell us
people.
to
You're a
tell
pathetic
yourself.
piece of shit. And the distinction between me and you is that because as you say true propositions,
Yeah.
people actually tend to agree with me more than you, Gavin. You know that, right?
Yeah, would you
You
agree
get
with
that,
me
Gavin? And like, I don't know where you're trying to overtalk you. I'll overtalk the fuck out of you, right? You're like a mumbling old drunkard, right? Gavin, you're getting blown the fuck out on every topic right now, Gavin. I hope
there's
you
a
know
what
that.
collision?
You're such an old fart.
Galaxy collision happening right now.
What?
That
Where?
Picture, in that
Where?
picture that someone posted in
Oh.
the top right hand corner, there's a galaxy colliding right now. They're all gonna die.
Oh. No, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it was hundreds of millions
John,
of years ago. It'll be
John,
alright.
can I ask for a clarification? When you said
it just reinforces that you lost badly due
If
to your own incompetence.
I just wait. I have a
If
question
two
for anyone here.
galaxies
That like heard
collide
the
into
entirety of
each
the
other,
argument.
what
Who
are
looked
the
better in the
odds that a
dialectical
star
discourse,
will
me
hit
or
another
Gavin?
star? Pretty
How about
small,
how about we
right?
run polls, guys? Who looked better throughout the entirety of the debate? Me or Gavin?
Run one another.
Here's 1, 2.
Stars would start orbiting from one galaxy to the next, maybe. Anyway.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
But Gavin, I have no idea what you think. Like even like, or even like, why you think you look even like remotely good right now? Got blown the fuck out by me.
It's only 2.
Your English is not understandable.
My English isn't understandable when I see you got blown the fuck out by me. Are you trolling? Are you deaf?
No, I'm not deaf, and I'm
I
not.
think
And I'm
you
not
are.
a troll.
Kickboxing ruptured your eardrum.
But
Well, you know, if you
you were
make-
just insulting. You're just insulting.
Obviously, no. I was like giving arguments. I was giving
If you- if
critiques.
you
I was giving
made,
justification while insulting you. I was doing
That
both. There was like a
means you
contrast,
must
right?
have lost. It's always
No, I
the
know I
one
can
that-
insult you, and like also
that-
at the same time. Just
the
wait, why are these things
insult
mutually
and the
exclusive? What's the
acknowledgement is
contradiction?
all-
Go ahead, buddy. Just name the
Well, you must
contradiction,
have
Gavin.
lost by
Well-
Gavin, just name
daylight.
the contradiction. You're
Well,
dodging.
Gavin, I mean, the issue.
Gavin, why are
the
you
issue
dodging?
Is that the issue is that if he made an argument and you didn't really respond to it, and you just said he's just too young and stupid, you can say everything you want, but you're just too young and stupid. I mean, that's just an ad hoc, right?
Yeah, so what?
I'm
What are you
about to
gonna
send
do?
a really important file
Are
on
you
the
gonna
side
sue
chat
me?
just in a
Are you
second.
gonna send me in
You're
to see
a hypocrite,
nobody?
Gavin. You're like a little
Well, no,
old
but
fart. You're a piece of
kind
shit.
of you're kind of like you're criticizing him for not having an argument, but he gave you one, then you said, "Well, you're just too young and stupid to make an argument." But that doesn't.
No. He gave me one that was false. Did you?
Wait,
you
which
wanna
premise do
hear
you
it?
disagree with?
Which
There's
premise was
Did you wanna
false?
hear?
What are the premises? What are the premises, guys?
Gavin, which do you want the motivator for P1 of the argument? I can give you the motivator. Gavin, do you want the motivator? If you want the motivator, I can just give you the motivator.
Your
Gavin.
argument is false, John.
Which one? Which one? I gave like 3 arguments, right? And like
Which
out of all
argument?
the 3 arguments, tell me which premise is false.
I sent the file on the side chat.
You're running.
I don't even know what that is. That's probably Galaxy.
You're dodging. Do we all see this?
This is
No, I'm not judging.
You are.
Oh,
You're
no,
like
you're
dodging. Like, you're playing dodgeball right now. You're like in your fucking
Fucking
dodge-mobile, like trying to ram into the fucking pivot ditch. How about the Dodge Charger? You piece of shit.
It's very simple.
I have a question. Can you not give an argument because you're a dumb piece of shit, Gavin? Gavin, answer the question. You're dodging again.
P1 is
Yeah.
if atheism is true, then positive evidence for no gods doesn't
Pretty good.
exist.
Wait, Neon, do you want to hear the argument I gave for positive
Right
evidence?
there.
Neon, do you want to hear the argument I given?
For no gods does
Yes.
not
Yeah,
exist.
perfect. So the argument I gave is and I'm just gonna talk over Gavin here. So the positive evidence for atheism is simply gonna be premise 1. Aesthetic deism is about as intrinsically probable as theism.
The other argument I
Premise
gave was,
The total
if-
evidence excluding facts about suffering and religious confusion is roughly
Now,
expected under theism and
reliable,
deism. Right?
wouldn't
Premise
they?
3. The total evidence excluding facts about suffering and religious confusion. The facts about suffering and religious confusion are much more expected under theism than on theism, right? So from this we get three conclusions, right? If you want the inference rule for them, if you want how I inferred them, I can tell you why, right? So conclusion 1 would be theism is more probable than theism. Conclusion 2, theism is probably false. And conclusion 3, atheism is going to be true. This is going to derive from conclusion 1. Right from this is so conclusion is going to come from conclusion 2, right, Gavin? So do you have a rebuttal to any of the premises that I've given you?
Hey guys, I'm going.
You're
I'm
dodging,
I'm
Gavin.
going.
Wait, give me
Wait, I'm
parsimonies.
taking the exit. I'm taking an exit to a
Wait,
place
but Neon,
called
before you leave.
Gayer
Yeah,
Springs.
stop.
Neon, before you
Yeah.
leave, was it not an argument? Was that not evidence?
What?
Yeah, like what I said before, was that not evidence for atheism?
I wasn't. I didn't really hear you over everyone.
Oh,
else.
Yeah, there was like
damn.
10 people talking at the same time, to be honest.
Yeah.
There-
Okay, well I can
but I'm
utter it again for Gavin if
now
you didn't
in-
hear it.
I am now at Gayer Springs.
Alright, bye. Yeah, so it's gonna come from
Turning
like
right on Gayer
Bayesian
Springs Road.
probability, which is gonna be analytically true, right? And I just don't know what you mean by necessary here. If you could like give some like semantical breakdown of that, if you're like I don't know what kind of like term, like are you talking like some modal term? And like if so,
Yeah,
what
you're
type of
using,
modality?
you're using a possibility here, so that would be a probability field that you're opening up.
Yeah,
So you'd
obviously,
have to
right?
you'd have to demonstrate the necessary conditions for that probability
Yeah,
and the
So
possibility.
we have some hypothesis as being like the classical theist, right? And I'm just like giving things that which would be much more expected under some other hypothesis with like the same amount of explanatory power. Right? So obviously that's gonna make the other hypothesis
Oh,
more
Gavin,
probable.
simmer down, Gavin.
Being an
Yeah, just simmer
18-year-old,
down.
he would know fuck all.
And I bitched you. This 18-year-old bitched you, right? This 18-year-old fucked you.
They-
Like I fucked you so hard your asshole is sore, Gavin.
Alright.
You're drenched in semen right now.
Too full of cum. That's
Yeah,
the
you're
problem.
drenched in it right now. You're like bathing in it, Gavin.
Wait, John, is Gavin giving an argument from stupidity or something?
He's giving an argument from like retaliation, I think. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. I mean, he might
Wow.
be giving an argument from
Nigga.
brain damage now that I think about it.
I mean, he thinks he's Batman or something, but he's just Gavin John Hurlman.
Here's the thing, right? Like Gavin, this is my Gotham City, right? Gavin, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I came in here, started BTFOing everyone, including you, Gavin, okay? You're not fucking special, you piece of shit.
Fucking dialectically 9/11. Holy
You're
shit.
fucking philosophically illiterate. I'm throwing,
picture-
Gavin, I'm throwing rocks at your car. I hope you know that. I'm throwing rocks at your car, Gavin. Be ready, be prepared. Throw rocks at your car. Don't forget that, Gavin.
I found like
Wait.
like 4 galaxy collisions and a little red dot galaxy, and I've also found a bunch of smears. And there's
Daniel, were
one-
you
there's
recording
one
any of that?
galaxy
Can you send me the
collision right
recording?
here. There's this one galaxy collision that is 2 galaxies that are colliding into a third. Ah, it's amazing.
Oh my god.
They're talking about the fucking stars right now. It's hilarious.
Oh my goodness, you're talking about the stars?
You're making up you're made of star stuff right now, okay?
Bro, please stop yapping with that nonsense.
Yeah, listen.
Jen
Give an
Jen
argument
post
for that.
post
Give
the
a
neurons.
fucking argument for that.
Post
No,
the
nonsense.
neurons and then post
Premise,
the
premise,
post
conclusion,
the
happening.
galaxies.
for that.
It's not nonsense. It's
Right, so
happening
let's
right
let's just take the
now.
dialectic in a linear fashion, right? Do you have an argument for
Right
that?
there.
The arguments here,
I'm
okay.
looking at it, but it was hundreds
It's
of
happening
Yeah,
right
didn't you have to
there,
go?
right
What?
now.
Whoa. Everyone needs to stop speaking at once.
Yeah, listen.
Thank
From
you,
now on,
Rick.
only me
Praise
and Mars
God.
Bus can speak over anybody. Okay, only the both of us. 'Cause, like, we're just
Precise.
that much smarter than all of you, right?
It's a very nice cluster. I like
When the high IQ people are talking, the low IQ people
Yeah.
stay silent.
Y'all shut the fuck up for the kings.
I like that cluster.
Okay.
That is
There's the
nice.
lion and there's
Pretty-
the dog.
pretty-
The lion
Yeah.
rapes the small dog.
Where are the galaxies? Where are the galaxies colliding exactly?
Yeah, and listen, you're all going to fucking rape this tonight if you don't shut the fuck up. Okay, I'll fuck every single one of your little tight
Oh wait, I
assholes.
see it. It's right
I
there.
know it's happening right
I
now.
like
Hundreds
Okay,
of
Gavin,
galaxies,
so,
guys.
Look at
I'm
that!
happy
Look at the two galaxies
You can
colliding.
blow
You're
the
able
fuck
to
on
see
Mars
it.
bars. I'm gonna go. It was nice talking to you. I'll probably be back in a bit though.
Y'all are
Oh,
fucking
sorry
hilarious.
Alright,
for
okay.
driving you away, buddy.
I see ya.
apologize. Thanks for coming by. I just get excited about James Webb photos. They're colliding right now, hundreds of millions of years
Right
ago. It's
there.
okay. Yeah, it's right there, but it's hundreds of millions of years ago. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gavin John Hurleyman won the argument. He won the debate.
Wrong button.
That's great. Cool.
He absolutely annihilated his
Yo,
opponent.
did John Crawford wash you guys or no? What happened?
Yeah, Gavin John just shat on some atheists.
Nah, he didn't.
One.
No. John Crawford won that
That one's
by a
different.
landslide.
Pretty.
You fucking pussy.
You niggas are fucking retarded.
Shut the fuck up,
Please don't
bitch.
use the R word on my stage. I'm
What's your theory of truth?
Shut the hell up. I tell you what's gonna
You're
be
black,
true.
shut
It's
up.
gonna be me
Hello.
in your fucking room.
Not even black. I don't
Whoa,
care.
whoa! Wait! Hold on.
That's-
Could you
Hold on.
real quick? The guy who said that that person was black. What's the reason? Just one. Well, real
I
quick.
think
I'm
I
gonna be in
just-
secrets, little
Wrong.
Connie.
Real quick,
I'm
just
gonna be
real
in
quick, just-
secrets, little Connie, eating it.
Yeah, I don't care about that. But what I care about is give me one reason why racism is wrong, real quick. Just
Yeah. Give me one reason, you fucking pussy.
What the fuck?
no, you,
Yes.
you.
No, that wasn't me.
24
That wasn't me.
RT2.
That wasn't
you?
me.
Okay, never mind.
I didn't say
never
that,
mind.
you
Okay.
fucking cunt.
Okay. I disengaged. I'm sorry.
Yeah, good boy. Retreat.
dick.
Okay, Donald C.
Yeah,
Could you give
a
me
little
one
bit.
reason why racism is wrong, real quick?
Yo,
So I know.
secrets. Let me grab you by them soft little hips. Or
What the fuck?
Well, you should be saying that in the DMs, bro. You should be saying that in the DMs,
Like a good
right?
girl.
Your riz should be in the
Fucking
DMs,
crazy,
right?
man.
Like, you gotta calm down,
call me
bro.
right now. Call me right now.
Far away.
Oh my god. He's not gonna do it.
Oh,
She doesn't want to
Secret's
see
gonna
your.
do it.
She does not want to see your 3mm.
It's not
Peter,
3
okay?
millimeters. I'm not gonna show my dick, bro.
The
She
3mm Peter.
Lips on
You know,
camera,
I
she's
know.
gonna
She
touch
don't want to
herself
see
like a good
that.
girl. She's gonna touch herself like a good
Why are
girl.
you saying this in public? You're so
Wild. What is
You're
this?
gonna
What is
touch
this
yourself
sexual
like a
harassment
good
right
girl.
now?
You're gonna touch yourself.
You
like
sure
a
about
good girl.
that? You sure about that?
Nah, I'm fucking with you. I'm joking. I'm joking. Little jokes. Yeah.
This is how it starts. It starts as a joke.
It starts as jokes, but then it like the grooming starts as jokes,
And then I get a
slowly
text
just
that's
builds
like, "Oh,
up.
show me your cooch from the back," and I'm like, "What's going
No,
on?"
it
I thought,
starts with me dropping your address.
"What?"
What?
Awesome.
I was talking about the stars, bro. What the hell? What
Oh, okay.
got you in all of
Yeah.
this, man?
I'm just
These
saying.
guys want to
man.
touch me because I'm young.
What the hell?
Oh my god, these are really
What
Whoa,
the
whoa,
hell?
whoa.
Heliante.
These are really
Whoa.
far away.
Donald, you,
Oh my
what's
God.
going on your stage right now, bro? What is it? What's going on down here?
I'm watching some James
1, 2.
photos.
I'm gonna touch on you.
They're very pretty.
3, 4, buckle my shoe. 5, 6. Time to
Look on my-
These stars are very far away.
What?
Huh?
I mean,
What is wrong with
these
you?
guys are at a redshift.
Wait, Omni reference point. Aren't you like a student of Omni nerd?
No.
Or no? Yeah, type shit.
Pretty star. There were others. Somebody put a bunch of James Webb's photos. Thank you who did that. I think that was...
Is Donald C talking to himself again? Like he's talking to himself and touching himself or something? Like what's going on here?
Can you get closer to the mic if you are?
I said Donald C is touching himself while looking at the fucking stars right now. Like what is
Sure.
going on? Am I hearing right now?
I was talking to the person that's with the activity. Can they get closer to the mic?
What activity? I don't want to hear that. How about they shut the fuck up?
No, how about not?
That looks like a planet.
I'm not talking about you shutting the fuck up. I'm talking about Donald C shutting the fuck up.
Yeah, no, he needs to get closer to the mic.
You want to hear fucking
is that
Sweet
better?
Nothings
Omni
universe
reference,
right now?
and we
Is
know
that
that
what it
you're
is?
submissive.
Can you hear
Omni
me better?
submissive.
What? I'm not submissive. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yes, you are.
No.
That is pretty.
Why would you suppose that? The fuck?
Cause what? Do you hear yourself right now?
Do I hear myself? No.
You sound mad dominated right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
1, 2,
Anyways.
3 for you.
Hey, oh, look at that. That's a cool bird right there. Let's go.
3, 4, out the door.
I zoomed in more.
You guys know what the PSR is?
The principle of sufficient reason.
What about modal collapse?
Modal collapse is based on the. It could be based on a logical modality or even a metaphysical modality. Depends on which framework you're then coming from in order for the collapse to happen. So,
What's your
when
theory
it
of
comes to,
truth?
like a counter model that you build, and the collapse happens when the
Okay,
counter.
buddy, we got it. You
another
studied
direction.
under Omni Nerd. Okay.
No, I'm not. I didn't study under Omni Nerd. Omni Nerd. I don't even know who that is.
You know who Omni Nerd is, boy.
No, I don't actually. I
Say
actually
it
never.
on your life. Say it on everyone's soul you've ever met in your life.
Yeah, I've never met him. I've talked with him before, sure, like once or twice, but that's it.
Now we're just like equivocating on what it means to meet someone.
No, it's not. That's not an equivocation because I'm not making an argument.
It's gonna be the case. Simply.
Yeah, I'm not making an argument because I'm not.
It's simply going to be the
convincing
case,
you
sir.
in either direction. I'm just giving you my
Get
experience
out!
with this person.
Get out.
Oh, look at that! That looks like a hand, bro. Holy shit! Hand to God moment.
Hand to God. You guys think you're Play-Doh, bro. You guys are not Play-Doh.
Okay.
The quartet. Oh,
You think you're Socrates, bro.
Donald C right now is worshiping God and he doesn't even realize it.
I'm not worshiping at all.
Are you having reverence for all those stars that are colliding right now? Just yes or no?
Pretty. I don't have reverence. I don't know what that means.
Okay, there you go. You have reverence for it. Yeah. Ooh, really pretty. Ooh.
What is having reverence for me?
That's what Donald C is doing right now. He's fucking touching himself like a weirdo in the corner.
Do you want me to turn on my camera? Because I will, but I'd rather.
I don't want it. No, sir. No, sir. No, sirree. Please do not turn on the camera. Okay? Do not ever, never do that. Ever. Never do that. Okay, hold on. Let's do a poll. Hold on, let's do a poll since apparently my opinion don't matter. All right, so let's do a poll. Who all here wants to make Donald C turn on his camera? All right, I vote no. Anyone else?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, that was 1-1. Fuck me. Okay. Anyone else?
No, I'm 2 people.
No, you're not. What the fuck?
I'm infused with Exodus.
That is gorgeous.
Whoa, what is he talking about here?
You can see the gas flows being pushed away by the igniting star. It's beautiful.
Yo, you good, bro?
It looks like an igniting star. I could be wrong. I haven't looked at the description of these photos yet. I'm just going by what I see.
Fuse this man's soul into being a composite being.
Who is posting these? G. Thank you, G. Unity. Cool. Everything your photo is. Photos, they're beautiful.
What the fuck?
Oh, it's a hand also. Oh, that's cool.
Oh my god.
Oh, pretty. That is very similar to what our Milky Way looks like down right there by Carl Sagan's face. Carl Sagan would love to be staring straight at that galaxy. That's a perfect capture. Dude, he would love it. We didn't have capabilities of making galaxies that pretty when he was alive. Wow. Pretty planet.
It's just retarded. Where's the PSR room?
So, does anybody in here believe in God?
Donald, when you debated Gavin what motivated you to select a deist to be your partner?
I really didn't know Hermes all that well. He just was in the room with me when Gavin. We knew each other okay from before a few times. I mean, he's. I don't know. Something's happened with him. I don't know if it's true or not, but no, he was
Okay,
just in the room with me. He was just.
I was just curious because while you defended atheism, Hermes gave a deist perspective, which kind of eroded the force of your stance. So,
not even a little. We're different people talking from different angles. So no.
have you ever debated Gavin one-on-one?
I have talked to him many times, but I mean, debated like formally. That's the only time I've ever formally debated him. But I've talked to him lots of times. He came into the clubhouse loads of times and said things. Like, when are you going to formally debate me? Well, we could debate right now. I mean, like, when do you want to formally debate? I mean, we could debate right now. And that went on for like a day or a week. Was it a week or a day? Gavin, I don't remember. It was a week. I remember I lied. It was a fucking week of him coming to my room every damn day. How about we formally debate? Well, why don't we debate right now? How about we have a formal debate? How about we debate right now? I'm also going to go smoke a cigarette. I can't find the button. Gavin, that wasn't you that posted all those pretty pictures, was it? It was, wasn't it? That's a shame. Oh well. Pretty pictures. So, hey, Merritt, could you do me a favor and say, good morning, Dave? Dang. Oh well.
Good morning, Donald.
Your thing looks like HAL 9000.
So, as an atheist, do you take the moral realist approach?
I try to keep morals out of it as much as possible.
That was what the that was what I think one of the major disagreements was when John Crawford debated Gavin, which was that Gavin pointed out that without a God with omni properties, you wouldn't have a grounding for morality. And as John reminded me tonight, his response was something to the effect of moral realism, which he gave an outline for.
I don't care.
But I personally, I don't find that, because moral objectivity is a complete non-starter. If you're starting from a naturalist worldview, you would assume that our moral faculties were evolved for survival rather than perceiving actual moral values.
I don't care.
So, what convinces you there's no God whatsoever?
Scripture.
That's right. I remember you brought an internal critique in your debate with Gavin, with Hermes as a partner. What was the citation you gave? That was a defeater for Christianity?
Well, I talked about how the Bible describes God as an all-powerful, all-knowing, all-benevolent God, and then how the flood contradicts that. So that's an internal contradiction. And then I showed how the Bible contradicts reality by teaching a young earth when we don't have a young earth. So that's two contradictions. How many contradictions are required to stop trusting the inerrant Word of God?
But how would you demonstrate that God's omnibenevolent property necessarily violates the flood?
Flooding the world? His own law, do not kill.
Do not kill, correct?
So God violated his own law. That's a contradiction. How many contradictions do I need to stop trusting the inerrant Word of God?
Oh, that's crazy. You think that's a contradiction?
Of course it is. A benevolent and all-benevolent God drowning every human except 8.
Okay, well, that's a different subject, but God telling humans not to kill and then God the creator killing a human is two separate things.
Why?
Because we're not God. God is not us.
So
God...
shouldn't an all-powerful, all-knowing, all-benevolent God follow his own laws?
The law was for humans. I mean, there's other laws about washing your hands. Does God follow those laws? Does God follow the law about not eating shrimp?
Whoa, slow down. The law was for everybody until heaven and earth passed away. The law is forever.
All people.
Heaven. How many people are in heaven right now?
God created heaven too. Heaven is not eternal.
Yeah.
God is above heaven.
How many people are in heaven right now? People in heaven.
There are saints in heaven. I don't know how many.
So how many people have ascended to heaven from earth? Because Jesus says just one. So if you say anything other than just Jesus, you're kind of contradicting your own book. Jesus says.
Where did Jesus say it was just one?
Jesus says that no one has ascended to or from heaven except for me who has seen his face.
Can you show me that verse?
Sure, give me a minute. Why do y'all think that atheists have any reason to lie about your scripture? It's y'all who have a reason to lie about your scripture.
I don't think you're asking for the verse, man.
I'm working on it. I'm just also editing.
Brother, take your time. It's okay. I'm not getting at you like that. Relax.
I'm perfectly relaxed. Don't be a dick.
I'm not.
Yeah, and I'm perfectly relaxed.
That's okay.
So don't tell me to relax when I'm perfectly relaxed.
You don't sound relaxed.
You don't need to use my tone as an indicator of anything.
Just pull up the verse, man.
Getting it. Give me a second.
Stop flirting with me, dude.
Fancy pants.
And this is kind of off topic. Like, God can set a law that only humans are supposed to keep, and if He doesn't keep that law, that's fine. You're also, not supposed to equate yourself to God. That's a sin as well. Does that mean God can't do that? No.
All right. John 3:13. No one has ascended to heaven except he who descended from heaven, the Son of Man.
Okay.
So it says what I said it says. So
Okay.
if you say anything other than one person has been to heaven, then you're a heretic that doesn't believe in the Bible.
No, it says ascended up to heaven as a man. It doesn't say nobody's been to heaven. Plenty of people have been to heaven.
Excuse me, reread the verse.
Bro, ascended, right? So Jesus, when he resurrected, stood on earth, and from the ground, his body that he's currently in went up into heaven.
Yeah. How could a human get to heaven besides ascending?
By dying?
And ascending to heaven?
No, it's different because their body is still on the ground. And then
That you okay, so now your book's unreliable. That's all.
you're choosing to interpret it in an incorrect way.
I'm reading the words that are there, buddy. You're the one that's interpreting it.
Yeah, okay. So listen, here's how people get to heaven, and if you don't like, this is what the Bible says, and if you don't like it, it's not.
Getting to heaven, because I got that written down. I went through the entire Bible.
You want an answer?
Every single way that you can get to heaven.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
So do you want an answer, or do you want to just repeat your talking points that you've already written down?
It's not a talking point. It's all of the ways to get to heaven from the Bible.
This is a pre-prepared talking point that you are.
Let's hear your way before I go get my notes.
Not my way. It's not my way. I'm just simply explaining how you get to heaven, right? Now, you might be... Okay, well, stop talking then. You might be talking about something else completely, but the Bible says to be present, or to be absent in the body is to be present with God. So when you die, your soul instantly is in heaven with God. I can pull up the verse in 2 seconds. In 2 seconds, I can pull up the verse.
Do that now.
Let me...
Do that now.
No, let me finish my sentence. Let me finish.
No, do that now. Remember when you wanted my verse, it had to be right now. So now I want your verse right now because I gave you my verse. It's your turn to give me your verse right now.
You're an absolute
spurg.
spurg.
Next time, if you had just been a patient little prat, I wouldn't have been a dick like you were. So
I literally told you to take your time. I told you to take your time.
Give me the verse.
You could have finished your... I would have let you finish your point.
Give me the verse.
I am. Relax.
Don't tell me to relax when I'm perfectly relaxed.
Relax.
Calm down.
It's
Calm
second
down.
Corinthians.
Calm down.
You calm down, dog.
Calm down. Calm down.
You want the verse or not? Speak again. I'm not going to give you the verse, right? Let me talk.
Whose room
Second
is this?
Corinthians.
No.
Okay.
Until you give me the verse, you don't get to talk.
2 Corinthians 5:8, and this conversation's over.
2 Corinthians 5:8. What version do you use? Because I'm going to use an IV. Because I don't care. Oh, where's my NIV? Oh, there it is. All right. Oh, what? Did you run like a little baby, or are you still here? I think you were in 2 Corinthians 2:8. Is that what you said? It says, "For God who has at work in the ministry of Peter as an apostle to the Jews was also at..." I must have gotten the wrong verse. I thought he said 2 Corinthians 2:8, but I must have gotten it wrong because that had nothing to do with what we were talking about. Easy Nature is gonna cook Donald C. the amateur. Omni reference point. Can you remember Donald C.'s second objection? No idea. Second objection to what? Okay. Guess Omni's not in the room anymore. All right. Whatever. It is HAL 9000. For a second, I thought it might have been some sort of starship, but it's HAL 9000. It's full of stars. Or something similar. Alright, well, you guys, I'm about ready to... I've been here for hours. I'm about ready to put an end to it. Not even Donald C. can remember, imagine. I mean, second objection to what? I'll tell you. You have to tell me what what you want to know. Second objection to what? Gavin, you're right there, buddy. Are you talking about the age of the Earth? Is that what you're talking about? Like our debate? Yeah, Bishop, Usher, and the age of the Earth, right? He calculates it out to be like 6 grand, 10 grand. I think he got it down to like the month. I think it was either May or October or something. 4004 BC. Oh, silly theists. Hello, welcome. How are you today, ZXE?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
I Wait, I'm sorry, I'm reading something. It's not making any sense. It's so different.
Okay. So, Gavin, did I get it right? Dead room, probably time to move on. Okay, go move on. I don't remember. I think you're talking about Gavin, I think you're talking about our debate together, if you want to call it that. My second objection, I think, pretty sure it was the age of the Earth. Did I get it right, Gavin? Or would you rather be more specific about what I was objecting to? It'd be very easy for me to tell you. Anyway, I'm exhausted. I've been here since dawn. Dogs. Gavin, did I get it right, or were you talking about my second objection to something else? I would like to close the room, but you guys have to leave so I can close the room. I'd appreciate it if you guys left. I'm tired. I don't know if I can just close the room with everybody in it. I might have to kick you all. I don't want to kick you all. I don't know if it's permanent or not, so I don't want to kick. Whatever. What happens if I just do this? That doesn't do anything.